Hey everyone and welcome back. I'm Trixks and today I decided I wanted to throw my creature designer hat into the Pokemon Sword and Shield ring. So the idea for this video came about after the leak of the Pokédex for Sword and Shield, which left me feeling rather iffy with a fair few of the new Pokemon designs. I initially didn't ride the wave when a lot of artist channels were creating content around the reveal of the starters Scorbunny, Grookey, and Sobble, but I did like how they looked. Not my favorites by any leap, but they're still pretty good designs. Simple but effective. And like every generation in the past, the fire type appealed the most to me and was going to be my chosen starter. Bunny versus a monkey and a lizard, the bunny is gonna win every time, hands down. However, seeing the evolutions for Scorbunny left me feeling a bit miffed. They seem to be humanizing them too much, giving them full-on outfits and even a hat in Cinderace's case. It just rubbed me the wrong way, and it actually reminded me of the challenge my graphic design tutor issued us back in uni. He said if we ever came across a design we didn't like, he challenged us to see what we would have done differently. If you'd been giving the character design brief for Cinderace like the original artist had, what would you have created? So here I am, accepting my own challenge to redesign Cinderace. Now, some of you may like his in-game design, and that's perfectly fine. This is just me having fun in a what-if situation. His Scorbunny and his evolutions are basically depicted as the soccer players of the Pokemon world. I could see what they were trying to do with the final look, but it just didn't appeal to me. I knew I was going to ditch the clothes aspect of Cinderace's design from the start, getting back to the more animal-like roots of the first gens. Looking back to Scorbunny for inspiration, I decided I wanted to bring the band-aid patch on Scorbunny's nose into his final evolution. It seemed like a wasted visual motif opportunity that was dropped after Rabbit evolves. I like it when elements of one form carries over into next, creating a link that keeps a Pokemon's evolutionary tree connected. In my redesign, I wanted to emphasize the power in Cinderace's soccer player legs, so I made his thighs over-exaggerated in size. Even thicker than Mewtwo's, I think, now looking back on it. Typically, I've seen the final evolution forms have a smaller head to bigger body ratio, so I made sure his legs and ears were the biggest elements of his design, balancing each end of his body so he doesn't tip over or seem too heavy at either level. I was inspired by the little tufts of orange I could see wrapping around Scorbunny's neck that looked like a turned up shirt collar. Extending it down and fluffing it up, I bulked up the upper torso and shoulders with fur that I planned to turn orange like the original element on Scorbunny. From there, I thought it could be a fun idea to add more bandages to his form like the one on his nose. Like the ones Tyrogue and Hitmontop feature in their designs, I added wraps to Cinderace's calves and forearms to hint at a fighting type connection, but also to create a visual break between certain parts of its body. After I'd finished sorting out the design, I knew I wanted to add a little more personality to their expressions, so I made sure to add a lowered brow and slight smirk to complement its crossed arms, coming together in a confident but still low-key challenging you vibe. And in honor of this being a Pokemon redesign, I decided to mix up my line art style with the official Pokemon style going forward into the piece. I couldn't help but add my typical dynamic line art weights, something Pokemon doesn't really use in their concept art. They look like they use a fine liner outline style as opposed to a brush pen one. Moving into color, I knew I wanted to keep to the original Scorbunny palette. There be no introducing of random navy blue in this Cinderace. Thank you very much. Kind of like how I grew the orange collar from Scorbunny in this design, I thought it would be a cool idea to extend the color from Scorbunny's ears downward over onto the head before cutting off in line with the eyes. The bandages all had to be colored like Scorbunny's, but other than that I wasn't sure what I would do with the rest of the body colors and pattern at first. I initially colored the lower belly into the underside of the tail, almost like Mewtwo, but after I sorted out the red sock patterned feet, it didn't quite balance right with the random bit of color in that area. The stripes of white I used on the bottom half of the leg was my way of meeting halfway with the pants and socks element that they used in the original Cinderace design. It's reminiscent of sporty socks without actually being clothing on his body in my opinion. And with a bit of cell shading reminiscent of the Pokemon art style, Cinderace came together really well. I changed the background color a bit to tone down the bright contrast before I added some flame effects around them just to finish off the concept art. You know, just in case it wasn't already obvious he was a fire type. I'd be interested to know if you guys are interested in seeing me redesign any other Pokemon evolutions in the future. You can suggest one from any generation, it doesn't have to be from Sword and Shield. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching everyone. If you liked this video, be sure to tap that like button, share it, or leave a comment below. If you have a couple coins to spare, please consider pledging to my Patreon, which directly funds my channel and art projects in exchange for a range of exclusive rewards. Every little bit helps, and anything is greatly appreciated. Until next time, see ya!